Hi and welcome back to PadelMetrics. My name is Yanis and competition time. We're here in Bali analyzing the NOX Cup. The first time the best athletes in Indonesia are competing for a $9,000 prize. And also I competed at the gold category, which was the Playtomic level of 3.5 to 4.5. We're going to be analyzing that game to see how we did, what we did well, what we could have done better, and how far did we go into that competition. You're going to find out in this video. But I have to say, first of all, we have to discuss this insane vibes and the crowd that was crazy at Bali Padel Academy.
3, 2, 1.
Witnessing some magic happen from the female pro athletes and the male pro athletes. The best athletes in Indonesia, we're talking about the rank 1, 2, 3, 4, we're all competing for this prize. More than 500 people were watching this at the NOX Cup Stadium. I was there and I've never witnessed anything like it in a paddle scene, especially at this sort of level. Now we're going to jump onto my game and we're going to be analyzing the game using Dartfish. Dartfish has been the tool that I've used for more than 11 years at the pro scene, especially at the Olympics, winning gold medals for Team TB in London, Rio and Tokyo. And now we're going to be analyzing our games. Let's jump straight into the game and see how we do. We're going to be opening the set against a lefty today, which is always something that we have been working on, because having two forehands in the middle of the court is a little bit like Koya and Tapia, maybe a little bit slower in our performances. Here we go, NOX Cup, gold category, round of 32, let's go. Okay, here we are at Bali Padel Academy, NOX Cup, round of 32, and we're opening against Alexis on the left here, and right we have, he's playing on the right side, but he's a lefty. And on the left side, we have Michael. We didn't know the guys before, we hadn't played them. We had seen them play, I've seen Alex play a couple of games. I knew he liked to lob a lot, especially the right side. And Michael, I hadn't really seen him play, so it was a bit of an unknown. What we're gonna do is just run through a couple of games and crucial points. We're not gonna see the whole game. We opened the set on my serve, and it wasn't as fluid as we wanted it to be. Always is nice to serve an easy game when you're starting to put pressure on the opposition. But in this case, let's have a look what happens. We were so nervous in the beginning. Okay, so something that we analyzed, and we're going to go into the analysis straight after this video. This is the most important part of the video, so you don't want to miss it, where we look at Dartfish and dashboards, the real data that I've coded like I used to at the elite level. Straight away, the first thing that I see here from the opening is after an overhead, we are not pushing the net. This area here is quite open. So it'll be interesting to analyze that and see if that is the case. Good vibra by Roger there. Here comes the second. And we managed to get the error. 30-30 on the first game. Oh, and I just missed that. I remember this part. It was quite brutal because it was the first game opener. I wanted to smash the ball. Obviously, when you're nervous, running and hitting, I didn't do a split step before I hit the ball. I would call that a little bit of nerves on my first serve there. First golden point here. And Michael just misses there a little bit.
Yeah, let's go. You can serve on his forehand. I was worried on his forehand, so I didn't serve in the middle because he's used to receiving on backhand, and he does that lob to you.
So the reason I said this is from the first point. I noticed that when I played his backhand, he had quite a decent lob over Roger, even though I had seen that he doesn't like using his backhand and playing his forehand. A lot of the times he would play ground strokes rather than lobs. So I decided on the next point I was going to serve to him to serve in his forehand, even though it sounds quite counterintuitive because you're playing against the lefty. And just to show you that example, the second serve, I aimed to play in the middle. And that was the opportunity to kill the ball, which I made a mistake. But That seemed to be a good strategy to serve on Alex for our game and what we were trying to do, which was hold the net and try to avoid lobbing Roger because we were struggling to hold the net. So we opened up the second game with Michael serving. A couple of errors on Michael. When we look at the data, we're going to see that Michael had a few unforced errors in the first set compared to us, which we're playing. Even though we did have some unforced errors, we didn't have as many, and we did quite well to identify that and play a little bit more on Michael. Maybe it was nerves, we have to ask him. And this was another nice approach here from Roger. We saw that Alex was playing the overhead quite deep and then he didn't follow up to the net. So he plays a deep ball and now we're taking the net. And we win the point. Sometimes paddle we make it so complicated, but literally just identifying some little areas where we can push the net and get a mini advantage, decrease a little bit the unforced errors, and then you can be in a good position in your game. Great shot by Michael here under pressure with a 30 love.
We can keep it low.
That's another thing that I wanted to do is improve on my returns, especially I had a strong focus because normally I would play quite an easy return and people can finish it. But in this case, I was trying to play low across on Alex's backhand here. Let's see what I do in this game, being 30-15 up. And that's the one that I don't want to do. I give the opportunity to Alex to smash at the front. But I witness that and I run with all my speed and I get that ball. And then we're still in this point. That was quite a crucial point for me because I did the return. It wasn't a good return, but then I was like, all right, it's my mistake. I need to get this ball. And just putting an extra ball in gave me the point. And that was such a mental shift in my mind at that moment where I was like, okay, it's not all about having a perfect plan, but if we can stick to it and if we're not playing our best, maybe we can get through this. And here we are 40-15 up on a break point here. We have 3 break points.
Ah, come on.
Great shot by Roger here. Feeling good to be 2 love up. I mishit the smash there.
Not bad, not bad. I need to kill that one, sorry. Let's go.
And here we're on our serve, trying to push the net. That's another deep overhead by me. We're going to analyze that afterwards. Look at my position. I take that overhead in the red zone, which is, when we talk about the red zone, we talked about in another video how I identified the green zone in front of the net, the neutral zone, which is pretty much the vibra area where we try and regain the net with a place, a vibra in the corner or some angles. And the red zone where in ideal world, you let the ball bounce for a bajada or you let it bounce to relob so you can reset the point. In this case, I'm taking way too deep overheads and I'm not following through to push the net. And you can see I'm still back. I was a bit lucky here because Michael did quite a soft ball, so he gave us an opportunity to come in. But he plays an amazing cross.
My mistakes.
And great job there by Michael. The 30 lob up here on our side.
Yeah.
Here comes the lob. Roger needs to rush to the net there, stays back, and they get an opportunity here to push the net. However,
let's go, buddy.
We get a bit of a good fortune here to get the mistake. Here comes the bajada. No, onto his backhand. I believe it was a golden point actually at this point.
Let's go.
And we win it. So even though we're 3 love up, I wasn't feeling very comfortable with the way we played. We weren't holding the net strong. We had 2 golden points in 3 games. Both of them were on our serve. So I wasn't very happy with how we opened. I was happy that we were still leading and that was important, but there was a sense that we could do a lot better.
Yeah, stay there. You're using his middle very good. I think the trick is to actually use his forehand.
I want to win every game.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
We were pretty much trying to build ourselves up there because I could sense that Roger and myself, we weren't very happy with the way we were playing, but we were very happy about the result. It's a weird sensation in paddle. You can be playing kind of average and you're winning, and then you can play really well and you're losing. So you have to be mental strong, and that's what we were trying to build up ourselves there, saying, come on, let's win every single game, come on. Strong smash by Michael here to go up 30-15. That was a good return by me. I returned down the line strong at the backhand of Alex, and then we get an opportunity to lob. Now the lob is very short, but the tactic was good. Quite a flat smash there. I get the ball, but it just goes out.
Come on. We don't need double lobs actually. We can try one returns.
Strong volley here from Michael to go 3-1. Now, because of what I discussed, we were feeling a little bit of pressure here to serve really well, to not lose the break, and it's on my serve again. So let's see. As we discussed, the tactic was to serve his forehand. The reason was because I want to keep the ball low, even though it's an advantage for him to play his forehand. And you can see he's playing all the way to the right side because he was trying to avoid his backhand. And you might be thinking that's a bad tactic, but I felt like it really worked for us on that day. Here comes the lob. And that's the other reason. A lot of the time he was trying to lob Roger, but by being on his forehand, he was getting the ball towards me, and I could get involved in creating a bit more pressure from the left side onto the net. Here comes the smash.
Nice, come on.
Two good serves there. I missed that. These are unforced errors. We're going to break down these unforced errors. We'll see how the difference was from set 1 to set 2 in terms of data analysis, and we're going to break it down. But the reason this was happening, and it happened a couple of times, is because I was serving on his forehand. I didn't have enough time to get into position to play the chiquito that we was playing, to play an easy drop shot or a soft ball in so we can hold the net. And I did that a couple of times, and it's something that I have mental note, just to either play the slower ball into the serve or make sure that I'm in position that I can get that, being in a good grounded position.
Yes, Roger, yes, very nice.
This was an example of the rally where Roger stayed back, we didn't push the net, and we did win the point. However, in the second set, things start to change a little bit. And I believe that obviously it was an unforced error there by Alex to hit the net. We weren't in a good position to win this point. I don't think we did the things. It was a great cross shot by Roger, but I don't think we were holding and putting pressure on the net. And that's something to keep in mind when we go through this game. Here we are 40-15 up to go 4-1 up on our serve.
Let's go.
Ball goes out, 4-1. Feeling good here. Let's see this return again. My return is on his forehand, quite high. Very easy for Alex to finish that. And here's a nice ruler.
Let's go, 3 points.
40 love, quick game. That's a better return. But I lob it a bit too low and Michael gets the game here. 4-2. Here comes the lob. Nice approach by Roger there. It was very unlucky there.
It's going up. Amazing approach though, amazing approach.
That's something that we were discussing and we're going to analyze after the game. Is the approach was really good. The finish, the execution wasn't right. That ball could be going out, but he didn't have time to react. That was strategy that we had planned, and we did it. Now, the execution of the technique wasn't there, but I would give that, it was a good point. Errors happen as long as we're trying to achieve something to give us an edge. Great cross shot here. Here comes Alex for the smash. Roger returns that.
Mine!
Keep the ball in. Another Rulo. Save this time. Now Roger's pushing. Another mistake. A lot of the times in paddle, we do one mistake, then 2 and 3 follow up. And a lot of the times it's because we're overthinking one point that happened this game or the previous game. So the mental game as well in paddle is so crucial.
Let's go. It's our serve. Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Bit of an interesting scenario here with 30 love down here.
Nice, nice.
Roger does
Come on.
a good job to play the side glass on the vibra there, and we go 30-15.
Out.
Controversial point here.
Did you see? You're on the line. What was it? You thought it was in?
You let me know in the comments what you think that ball was in or out. We ended up replaying it and we end up winning the point.
Us out.
So, not too much drama after that. Roger, nice in the middle there. Now we're pushing the net. I like when we do that. Good soft ruler.
Yes, Roger, yes.
Soft vibra
Amazing
there in the middle.
patience. Come on.
That was a lot better.
Come on.
We win the game there from being 30 love down, and that shows that sticking in paddle with every single point, even the controversial point, that could get to your head. But here we are, 5-2, one game to finish.
The only point they can get is when we do an easy, soft, low ball.
I'm talking about my returns there. I'm talking about my returns on the serve where I'll do an easy soft ball and then they come in and just hit it to the back glass and we have no time to react.
Sometimes it's a good serve, right?
I wonder whether from a difficult position it's better to lob. It's not really what we should do, no?
I think,
low.
yeah, low. I mean, the guy on the left makes so many errors where we need to utilize that.
All right.
Michael, I know you now, but at the time I didn't. And we did notice, and we're going to see from the data actually, that Michael was doing a few unforced errors in the first set. And I was thinking we should actually play through that until he proves that he can return those balls. We should apply pressure on what we're seeing, a little bit of an edge for us. Because even Alex's was, the lobs were not threatening, they were keeping them in the points. And obviously we were doing well in this first set, so we weren't getting punished. But in the next set, I felt like that was something that we should have introduced.
2 forward. Yes. Come on,
Another
everybody.
unforced error here from Alex, and now pressure is on them to be able to serve and stay in the set. Good lob by me, fast lob. Here comes the big one. Roger needs to follow through that.
Nice.
I come across. Now, that's something to pay attention for the next set. If you look at my position here, I am edging far too on the right side of Roger, and I really want to create that pressure to force him to push the ball either higher to try and get an error or create an angle that is difficult for him. However, what happens in the second set, you start seeing him playing on that left side here because I had so much room and that ball is on his forehand, so he could very easily place that ball back. Great return here from Roger. Big rally here. 30-30, crucial points. Here comes the Bajada. I was a bit high. Alex saves it. And we just miss it.
Let's go, 1 point, yeah? Shit. Just lob it back.
And now the opportunity to serve for the set. Opening with a strong vibra. Here comes the smash. Good smash by me. Here comes the return.
Come on.
Error from Michael. That comes the middle. I'm ready for it. Just placing it back to my backhand. Good angles here, but Roger creates that beautiful angle. Scrambling,
Yes,
and
come
we
on.
get the error. 3 set points here. I let it bounce. I lob it back.
Come on.
And I get the lucky bounce.
Very good. Even we have a little bit of nerves, it's okay. We're doing the right things.
So now no feelings of relief.
No, straight in.
Exactly.
We've done nothing yet. We've done nothing.
Yeah.
What you're hearing there is experience of me and Roger losing way too many games after we've won the first set. And let me know if you're in the comments if you've had that. You've had a 6-1 lead and then just to drop it in the second set or the tiebreak. So we were so aware of what happens, and we didn't want this tournament to be, we wanted this tournament to be different, to actually go in and dominate on the second set. Let's see what happens.
We need to break. This is the one.
We're pushing the net here on the opening game, 15 all. Good bajada by me. Lob, now opportunity. Good approach,
Amazing.
good lob. So that's 15 up. It'd be great if we can get an early break on the second set here. Good volley by Roger. Oh, so now just missed that.
Get the next one.
That hurt, that really hurt, because it was a good play by Roger. We had done everything right, we were at the net, and just an easy smash for me to finish the point, and I just hit the back glass.
I was not set. Come on.
So it was 30-all at this point. The score is wrong at that point.
Let's go. Let's go. 2 points.
Bad return there by us. Better lob, but still in actually. We're still in this. Here comes the bajada. Good bajada by me. Deep lob. Michael gets a ruler to the side glass there, and they win the point. And an error, cheap error by me on the return. This is something that I've been working on, and an opportunity there with my smash to go from potentially winning the game and having a break to now losing a break.
We get the next one.
On our serve now. Serve and smash, always a good tactic.
Come on.
You don't miss too much.
Yeah.
The way to see
Yeah.
Another ruler here. We're going to
Sorry.
analyze this shot because I'm taking it way too deep in the red zone, egging an overhead with no time to go and push the net. So that is a ball that I need to let it bounce off the glass and reset. It's something that I'm doing after the tournament, but watching it back now and seeing how we are playing is so obvious what we needed to do better.
2 forward.
Good lob here by Roger. Here comes the ball. Bit bouncy lob, volley by me, and he gives an opportunity.
Let's
for
go. 4-3.
Good return by Michael there. We still have a point to get the game here. Here comes the lob. This was happening a lot in the second set. It felt like Alex and Michael started pushing the net after the lobs to create pressure on Roger staying back in this case. And after 2 shots, you can see now that we have lost the net. I am not sure why I'm in that position. We have lost the net. He's getting an easy ball now that he can smash. I should be in the back here. I don't know why I'm standing there. I get it. I get lucky with this shot, but I shouldn't be there.
Nearly hit me there. 1-0. Come on. So we just need a little bit more on the legs. I feel like
I was definitely feeling that something was missing, and I said to Roger there, we need to move a little bit more, get a little bit more active, get that adrenaline and moving. It just felt like something wasn't right on the first 2 games.
a little bit more on the legs now.
Okay.
We need to move a little bit. Let's go.
Crucial point here, we're jumping ahead on a 4-3 on my serve and an error there on the volley, but the ball goes out and now we have an opportunity here to win the game and to go 4-4. Roger goes for the cross there.
Play safe.
We were talking about playing safe there, and unlucky for him, the ball just goes to the side glass. He did have an opportunity to play the middle, but obviously a lot of the times is like my volley there to the back glass, that could have been a game point. Now we're back to golden point. So let's see what happens. pushing the net here. I come in. I take the microphone off. I'm devastated. That was an easy volley for me to finish the ball, and I'm just a bit too eager there to get the game and go 4-4. And what happens? They go 5-3 up now.
Why did I do that?
Keep going.
Let's go.
We'll be back.
Devastated with that shot. Twice there. But if we think about it, I had a smash that went out. I had an easy volley that went to the back glass. Roger's cross. All these points would have won us the game. And it didn't. And now we're trying to survive for... we're trying to break on a set serve. Bad return there. Second bad return
Two mistakes.
there.
Two mistakes.
Two unforced errors when the pressure is on. Can we do something here? Great shot. Roger comes with a little bit of magic here, and the ball goes out. What a ball.
What a shot.
Better return there. Michael does amazing and recover it. Roger tries to get it in. Great placement there by Alex to take the point. And 3 set points here. Good shot by Roger. One more to go. One more to go to get back to a golden point. Bad return by me, and I make the mistake.
Fucking shit.
I was a bit
Well done. Good return.
Okay, these things happen.
Yeah, this is what it is. Vamos.
Focus from the first point.
Yeah.
Feet.
So now we're on a super tiebreak. And just like that, from having points that we could have easily won games, this is the tournaments though. Golden points are pretty much 50-50. We shouldn't put ourselves in a position to be in golden points. I don't think we particularly played well in here. And I know you're going to say in the comments, this is like a 2 level in Spain. I get it. Like we weren't happy with this performance. We played a lot better than this. But here we are, we're on a tie break. Let's see what happens. Can we turn it around?
Okay, tie break to 10. Hey man, it's 10 points and we continue. That's what we have to remember. Come on.
It's trying to build us up here. Let's go. I'm staying on the net there. A bit out of position. Managed to return this. Pushing the net, really good. I lob the ball. Opening point here for the tie-break on our serve.
Go, go, go!
Michael with a deep, soft overhead there. Didn't do well with that.
Come on.
They have an early break. Strong smash there. Michael comes with the second smash. Opportunity for us here to take the net. Here comes the ball, Bahada time. No, we're going to lob it back. Sensible. And we're pushing the net. I have to go back. Staying back here. You can see there, I'm eager to take the net, and I've approached the net twice there. But we were a bit miscommunicating there. I want to see that again, actually. Okay, so we have an overhead by Michael. We take the net, and here comes the lob. Now, after this, we should be definitely pushing the net. Let's see. We do, and here comes the deep ball. I lob it, and on this lob, I'm staying back. Now, that ball, I thought is going to his feet, so we had an opportunity here to push the net. However, Roger stays back, and that's where we're miscommunicating here. I either have to stay back there, or we both have to be pushing the net. Potentially that was a bit too quick for me. I don't know. I felt like we did have time to take the net here. Let's see. They take the net, now I have to roll back. Luckily they play Roger. It could have played on my feet there. That would have been in a very dangerous position for me. Here comes the second lob, and we don't push the net here. We could potentially push the net here. Now, an easy ball lob, there's no reason for me here to push. I don't know why I'm pushing here, way out of position. This lob, however, Roger needs to push forward. In one point, there were so many errors from both of us. I was pushing and when I shouldn't, and this is the nervousness of the tie break, I think. But in this scenario, we need to be on the net. Easy ball come in, we could have killed that point. Devastated, they end up winning this point. It just summarizes the whole day for us. A lot of learning to come from this, and they go up now to love on the time.
We're going to lose the next point. We're not.
Let's go.
I loved Roger's attitude, and I loved playing with Roger because he was very optimistic there. He was like, let's go, we're not losing another point, come on. Running like a headless chicken there, and they win this point and they go 3-love up.
Well, they're taking the net. We are playing from behind. We have to get the net somehow.
Yeah, of course we try. When he lobs, I do my shot, I come back.
So that's exactly what we're talking about now. You can see I'm maybe too eager to take the net. And Roger there said, you know, after the lob, let me try and push. So we are thinking the right thing. I'm a bit too eager, I need to tone it down, and Roger needs to push on when we're getting either the lob or we're pushing on a deep ball. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Push hard, push hard. Come on.
And we get our first point, and that was such a relief. 3-1 here, we're still in the game.
One by one, come on, come on.
Great read there by Alex. I was pushing way too far right to get involved in the points, and he did an amazing passing shot across on my left side there. Good job.
Good shot. Fuck, I have to stay there.
Brings him now in every rally. Every later he goes here.
Yeah, what is it, 1-4? 4-1?
Bad return by me there. And
Say, come on,
not
come on.
much Roger could do with that.
We have to wake up, come on.
We're 1-5 down here. Things are not looking great. Ball goes out, nothing was going our way, 6-1. Is this the towel?
We can very easily win this. Very easily win this.
What is it?
We're doing silly errors.
The start off is better. We don't bring any returns. If we do, they smash them. I almost would like to prefer going on a lob.
Yeah.
So we switched over and we were like, what's going on here? Why are we 6-1 down? How has this happened so quick? What are we doing? Let's take a breather. Let's talk about it. What can we do different? And Roger was saying, I prefer for us to start lobbing so we can get the net because we weren't holding the net. Let's see. Good approach here by Roger. Here comes the ball. I lob this high like we discussed. Second lob by Roger. Great shot by Alex to go so high.
Like mine, let's lob it.
We were talking about lobbing high there. Good return there, scrambling. And we get that
Come on,
point.
7-2. Hey, we come back. Come on.
7-2.
Yeah.
Come on!
Come on, let's go. No.
We still believed it. I genuinely believed it. I wanted to win this game. So I was like, come on, Roger, let's do it. And he was pumped up. And we were saying, can we start something here? Can we get back into this game?
No mistakes, no mistakes, no mistakes. Let's go, next one, next one.
Mistake there on the backhand of Roger on the lob, and now we're 8-2. We're forcing the lob a little bit too much. They are 2 points away from going through. Let's see.
We're still alive, come on, come on. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
We're alive.
What are we?
3-3.
Come on. It's us. It's us.
Few errors there from one from Alex and one from Michael, and we're 4-8 now. And I just had a sense that we could do this.
We can't make a mistake because we only have 2 points. We don't lose a point, man. We can do this. Come on.
Big lob comes in. And get another point here, 5-8.
5-8. Let's go. Let's make them win the points. Come on.
I don't know why I said that, because on this point, Alex definitely won that point, and now they're 1 point away.
Silly, silly. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Mistake there, a bit of nervousness. Could we get back?
Hey,
6-9.
if we get these two, we'll go to 8-9. Come on.
Smash in the middle there, 7-9.
Yours, yours.
Pushing the net now. Great
Come
cross, and 8-9.
Let's go.
Come on. Big smash by Michael, and that's it.
Well done, boys. Well done. Well done. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, man. I quit paddle, man. That's it. How do we lose? We lost. I can't believe it.
All right, here we go. We're going to jump straight into Tableau. And Tableau is a data visualization tool that we can analyze all the things that we analyzed from the video. We put it into a data set, and now we're going to see what that looks like. And here we are. This is the first dashboard that I created to see what happened in the game. And at the bottom, you can see all the tabs that I've created. I've created unforced errors, team errors, analyzed the overheads, the breakdown of the overheads, and overhead zoning areas. And what I'm talking about the zoning, if you watch my previous video, I talk a lot about the red, green, and orange, which is the areas where we normally take our overheads. If we're taking it on the offense, are probably finishing points, or we're creating a lot of pressure, smashes, tap outs, all the good stuff. Neutral is where the ball is deep enough not to create a winner, but you can hit a vibro and create some pressure so you can regain the net, or some angles to start thinking about regaining the net. And red is when we're in the defensive and we're trying to either lob the ball forward or get a bajada, an aggressive bajada, to regain the net. So that being said, we're going to start with the errors, and I'm going to go to team errors, and I just want you to see how it looked for both myself and Roger against Alex and Michael. Yanis and Roger in green. I'm going to highlight now. You can see we had 11 errors in our first set where we won 6-3 and jumped up to 21 errors. You might be wondering, that's way too many. That's what I thought, so I had to double check the video, and it's the benefit of coding it with video. You can see all the areas and we can do the analysis when we go and check them out. If we compare that to Alex and Michael, you can see that they started with 21, way too much errors, and reversed it down to 14. So the question here is, first of all, what types of errors are these? Who did more errors and why? And why was there a big shift to set 1 to set 2? Was it nerves? Was it they started to feel how we were playing and then they got better? And in the third set, in the tiebreaker, the super tie break, we can see we were quite even and we had 1 error less, but we ended up losing that tie break. So that's the first information here. We had a shift from errors. We did quite well in the first set, but then a lot more errors. Now the question is, who did these errors? And let's break that down further. So we're going to jump onto the player unforced errors here. And what you can see on the top is our names and the teams that we're on. So on the right side, you've got myself and Roger, and on the left side, you've got Alex and Michael. I want to see my errors and see what happened there. In the first set, I had 6 errors, but if I compare that to the second set, I jumped to 14 errors. That is a big substantial increase in errors. Now, what was this? We're going to look at the video. I do have an assumption of I was trying too much to kill points in the green zone, especially you remember those overheads that went to the glass or the one that I missed, really easy points, and these points count a lot when it comes to tournaments. Let's compare that to Roger. Roger started with 5 errors and just increased 2 errors, so a lot better than myself. And in the third set, Roger had only 3 errors compared to, I did really well in the, I had 2 errors. But how did that match against Michael, for instance? Now, Michael had 10 errors in the beginning of the first set and dropped down to 4 for the rest of the 2 sets. That's a big shift. So 2 things could have happened there. Either Michael played a lot better and he eliminated his unforced errors, or we started playing Alex on the second set, not getting the opportunity to put pressure on Michael, who was having quite a few unforced errors in the first set. So that's something that we need to analyze on the video and see if that is the case. Finally, let's look at Alex, and Alex has started with 11 errors, which is quite a few, but then stuck to 10 errors. So we know that in these 2 sets, Alex is quite consistent on how many errors he had. So the big outliers is I increased my errors quite a bit from 6 to 14, so that's a big jump. So is that the reason we lost the set? We'll find out. Michael dropped from 10 to 4, so that's another element that we need to see. Why is Michael making less errors? Is he not touching the ball enough? And finally, we can see that we had an increase from both me and Roger, and we'll see why that is. So that is the errors. So what we're seeing on this graph is on the top, we've got the technique. So we've got the bajada, the bandeja, the vibra here. If I highlight it, it will show me all the vibras. And here on the right side, we've got the sets. So we can see all the sets at once, and we can see the colors here. If I look up, focus at mine, I can see in the first set, for instance, I had 1 bajada here on the left. Most of my overheads were smashes, being on the left side, and vibras. So something that is interesting here and jumps out straight away is this bar here. This is why it's so amazing. You can have some ideas of what happened, but when you see it on the chart and it jumps out like that, we need to investigate further. So Roger had 21 overheads in the second set. Now you would think that that team would have dominated the net and having these overheads, but my question was, how can we have so many overheads and we're not winning that set? So I wanted to see where those overheads took part, and that's where the zoning comes in. The other thing that was interesting, if I go to the dashboard that breaks it down by set, I also see a massive increase from 8 overheads to 21. So something changed in the second set. So 2 questions here that I have straight away is, did Alex start lobbing Roger a lot more? And did Roger consistently bring the ball back, keeping that rally alive, but not creating enough pressure for us to finish points? And the second one is, where are these overheads? Are they in the green zone? Are they in the green zone? Are they in the red zone or in the orange zone? Is that, because that has a matter. If there are 21 overheads in the orange zone, then that means that we're potentially keeping that rally without creating pressure, and then slowly losing points without dominating on the net. Especially if that's on the red, then we know that those potential overheads were not creating enough pressure on the net by not running after the overhead. So finally, let's go on to the zoning before we jump onto the videos in Dartfish. Look at this, 85.71%, so nearly 90% of the overheads that Roger did were in the orange zone. So we know he was hitting the ball at a neutral, from the neutral area of the zone, and we managed to lose this set. So we have to identify why that was. 55% of mine were smashes. Being on the left, I was trying to create pressure. It makes sense that I would have more greens. If we look at just set 1, even though it's the same, we can see the number increases. If you see here on the toolbar, you'll see that this is 9 overheads for Roger. If we go to the second set, that increased to 18. So double the amount of overheads in that second set. So let's jump into the video, and we're going to start by analyzing my errors, because I had 14 errors and I'm not happy about that. Here we are on Dartfish, and obviously you can see all the data points that I have analyzed at the bottom here. So I can very quickly see and review everything that I want. But what's really cool, we can create quick dashboards to access all the videos that we're looking for. So here in report and replay, I am interested to see about my errors. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to put errors. I'm also going to see and can very quickly see the same information that we're looking at the dashboard in Tableau. We can also see it here. So very quickly, team 1 and team 2. So Yanis and Roger versus Alex and Michael. If we look at the unforced errors, we had 22, they had 32. And very quickly you can get some information, and with one click you can go and watch all these unforced errors for myself and Roger. So here we are. That was the one we were talking about, where I had a lot of easy balls in the green zone and I couldn't finish the point. These, especially in matches like this, matter. What could I have done better in those occasions? It was in the first game, this one for instance. Just be a little bit calmer, take your time. Don't rush to finish these points, especially when you're nervous. But I don't want to look at all, because now I've clicked on all our unforced errors. I just want to focus on myself for a second here. So I'm going to go to unforced errors, and here we go, Yanis. So I've got 13 examples here, plus the 1 and the 14 total, and we can play them all through and see what we did wrong. So here we are on the approach. You can see I'm a little bit far back, and as the ball is coming, I had to lean to one side to get that ball in a better position. I'm not in the worst position here, but I am hitting the ball behind me and not in front of me. So what would be a better solution is, after the serve, getting into the side here so I can cover my side. Even though I'm playing his forehand, I should be anticipating that that ball is coming there. And the reason was I was doing his forehand, even if it's a lefty, is because I did want to avoid him lobbing Roger. Because as we can see in the second set, they did have a lot of success by playing the lob on Roger and we not pushing the net and capitalizing on that pressure. So that's one thing there. Here's the other smash. And in this case, I am smashing out. Obviously, some of these are going to be unforced errors that are okay, because I should have smashed that ball. And it did go to the back glass. Could I have done better? Yes, but it was the right technique to use, and it was an error that I can live with. Now, this is an error that I'm not happy with, because we talked about it in the previous video. I wanted to work a lot on returning the ball to this area here on returns low, and especially now I'm playing a lefty, that's exactly where I should be placing the ball. So we can create either a flat ball on the return, and then we can neutralize the point and go from there. But what I decided to do is to do a lob. And that lob on a pressurized serve with a lot of lack of time to react to that and not getting low enough is causing me to do the error here on the glass. So that's something that I can very easily fix. This is another one. And this is a very, very deep ball. And as you can see here, I've created a still frame just to remind myself on what we were talking about. And obviously that ball is too deep. It's in the red zone. I have no reason. I'm not Tapia. I can't kick smash that from the red zone. So I shouldn't be playing this overhead. I should be letting it bounce and then reset the ball. They're not even pushing the net. So there's plenty of time for me to react and regain the net here with Roger. But I decided to take this overhead. The ball goes out, but even if it goes in, look at all this space here that I've left open. So there's no reason for me to be taking those overheads so deep on the court. And that's something that I've been working on, and something we can take into the next tournament that we play. This is the example where I'm playing the serve on his forehand. But what I do need to do, if I am going to force him to play low, I need to be pushing the net in this direction here so I can cover the area where I'm leaving open. And that area is this green area here. And Alex sees that and he very quickly plays the ball down the line here. Again, I'm happy with this shot because we didn't get lobbed and we can hold the net. Same scenario now, I'm hitting the ball a bit out of place and I'm trying to do a drop shot there. Could I have done a lot more better than that? Absolutely. I need to get under the ball, either lift the ball a little bit more. I don't need to do the perfect drop shot. We already have the net there. Alex is in the back of the court. It wasn't a hard shot. So that is an area where I do need to pay attention a little bit on those easy chiquitas that are not coming too deep under the net, just to play a safer ball in to hold the net. And to finalize, let's look at the last one here. A ball comes in, not a great save from Michael there. It's an easy ball for me. I have options here. I have time and options. I can play a ball down this line. I can also play a lob down this side. A little bit of the stress of the moment, maybe. We are 30-15 up here. We go 40-15 with this point, and this is the game where they broke us. We could have easily won our serve here. I go for an aggressive shot for the body and way too hard onto Alex, even though he was out of place. I could have played this a lot better. That was the decision I have to live with and learn from for the next time. And it's painful to see, because these are easy areas that in a normal game without the tournament stress, I would be able to perform. So there are the areas, what I could improve. Now let's look at this interesting scenario that was happening with the overheads with Roger. We're going to create a new report now. And what I want to see is we're going to look at the overheads. And overheads, I'm going to go with players. So on the top here, we have the players. I'm going to look at Roger's overheads, and I'm interested in these 29 overheads that were happening. In the position here, you can see I've tagged the color as well. So we can see all the oranges. We only have one green. Let's look at the example of the green overhead for Roger, because I feel like he has the potential to do a lot more of these. This is something that I think we need to work on in our practice, because I feel like Roger has the quality to finish these balls. They're high enough for them to either go flat down the line. And what I mean by this is, if we open up our editing tool, this is an opportunity for Roger to either create a flat shot down the line here and push and create pressure on Michael, or do an option for a rouleau. And I'm giving these options because I know that Roger has these, and even a flat shot into the middle, an aggressive flat shot that the ball is going to bounce back and create a lot of pressure there, because this ball is on the green zone and we need to create that pressure. As we can see, he's putting the ball back in, but is a soft ball enough for Alex to create another lob, and this time is pushing us further back, which in this scenario, now we're in the red zone. And if you remember from my drawing, we're in the red zone, where if we take the overhead, it's going to be very hard for us to regain the net, like I did before. So we see here, Roger takes the overhead. By the time Alex is hitting the ball, we have this massive gap here that he can use to play cross. And a lot of the times that would happen and would lose points. So that is an easy one for us to fix. I think both of me and Roger need to let the ball bounce more often to the glass, so we can replay it, neutralize the point, and not give them an option to just lob us, because they know we're going to be taking those deep overheads and they can push the net. These same shots were actually impacting us, as in we were doing either a mistake or they were taking the net on. And as you can see here, even though I come through and take that ball, I'm creating a lot of space, just because I want to get involved in this, breaking the pattern of the lob. And in this case, it worked, but it was way too risky. And a lot of times I was pushing onto Roger's side when I shouldn't be. Guys, the data is saying also that 96% of you are not yet subscribed. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and drop a like, a comment. I'm always eager to find out where you're coming from and what your paddle experience is. There you have it. Unfortunately, that was an absolute devastating loss for us. It was so close. It took us about 4 hours discussing it afterwards with Roger. We were so devastating and disappointed in our performance. But you know what? This is going to make us stronger. It's going to prepare us better, give us more incentive in our coaching to improve our overheads, to improve our movement on the court, to improve our pressure on the net. And all this is going to make us better paddle players. If you do want to use Dartfish, make sure you use PadelMetrics as your code and you get 10% discount. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another PadelMetrics episode.